Yo guys, what up? Nick Bronwyn here. Today I'm going to be discussing who am I looking forward to the most in Volume 5 and even just future chapters of RWBY. Now, this will probably change based upon my current reasons of why I want to see this character very soon and why I want to just see this character grow. The character is actually very surprising. There are 3 characters altogether I want to see more of. One of them is Raven. The other is Oscar. However, the one we're going to be talking about today is a very shocking one. And that is Jean Arc. Now before, you say, boo, why Jean? He ain't cool. He's this loser. He's this doofus. He's this powerless, little punk, Before you say all that and exit out of the video enraged, let me explain my reasonings. Out of RWBY, he's one of the characters who has one of the greatest developments. Next to Weiss, he has one of the best developments in my opinion. I mean, just go back and watch all of the volumes leading up to Volume 4. He starts off helpless. He snuck his way into Beacon basically because he didn't have any real fighting, powers. He didn't know how to fight or hold his own when he got into Beacon. And watching him be just the comic relief for Volumes 1, 2, and even 3, then watching him go on to Volume 4 where he had his first real battle that was in Volume 3, and watching him mature in Volume 3, it's so great. And it wasn't just it was basically like Weiss's situation. She started off as this bitchy little princess who didn't know how to interact with people in a positive way. And she changed throughout the volumes. Jean just took time. Jean took more time, I believe. And we didn't really get to see it shine that much until we hit Volume 4. Volume 4, he's still goofy, alright? That's just kind of a part of who he is. He is a goofy guy. However, you can also see the changes. For instance, now this may be irrelevant because everybody will probably react the same way when somebody literally confesses that they're in love with you by a kiss. Jean lost Pyrrha that way, and he didn't notice her having feelings for him until the very end. And I suppose it's natural to feel this way, but you would have never seen Jean be like that, be the way he was in Volume 4, Chapter 8, where he was just angry with Crow, and you understand it, and he just got right down to the point. Even if something happened to Pyrrha, I don't think he would have just got down right to the point. I think he would have just sat there and say, this is your fault, you made Pyrrha do this, this is all your fault basically. Just you pushed this onto Pyrrha, you made her do this, you put her in that position, and now she's dead and it's your fault. If Jean didn't have any character development, I think that's how he would have behaved and acted. But instead, he didn't just think that Crow and all of them were responsible. He sat there and said, who's behind all of this? Why is this evil person after, the relics and whatnot? Why is this happening? He got straight to the point. And in any other circumstance, if he did not experience that loss, and if he did not develop throughout Volumes 1, 2, and 3, I don't believe he would have ever gotten that serious. And in Volume 4, Chapter 6, my apologies, Chapter 6, and Volume 4, Chapter 12, and Volume 4, Chapter 2, he was training. He went up against Tyrion. Granted, he didn't do the best of jobs, but he went up against him without fear. And he talked sense into Ren, tried to get Ren back into the zone, and helped everyone move in a cohesive unit with such accuracy. You honestly can't sit here and say throughout Volume 4 you have not seen Jean mature as a character. And honestly, he has one of the more realistic character developments. Now, aside from character developments, the other reason why I want to see Jean in Volume 5 is because I think it's the perfect time to showcase what Jean's semblance is. We still don't know what his semblance is, and it is honestly bumming me out. Because whether you hate him or not, he was always a favorite character of mine. I always enjoyed him whenever he was on the screen. I believe he was a very realistic character in that setting. And many people are theorizing his semblance is healing because on the scar in his cheek just vanished. But then again, that could have just been his aura protecting him and just healing the wound. So that counter argument actually kind of does make sense and pop holes into the theory of his semblance being a healing type of semblance. And it also doesn't make sense for a semblance to kind of be a healing semblance, because that would also kind of dictate that, or rather depict that it's a defensive mechanism, when we already know the aura in of itself is a defensive mechanism. So I think it kind of just cancels all of that out. And so we really have no definitive proof of, or anything to really theorize off of what is Jean's semblance. And after the Battle of Beacon, if there's a great battle of this volume, I think it'll be the perfect time to showcase his semblance. Not to mention the fact that Tyrion seemed interested in Jean for whatever reason. When Tyrion was being his usual creepy self and said, it does not matter to you or you or you. He pointed at Jean and said, now you do interest me. And if you interest someone like Tyrion, there has to be some potential back there for Jean. Potentially his semblance, or just him learning to be more combative and be more of a fighter. Either way you look at it, Jean has been hyped up from Volume 1. He really has. Because we knew everyone else's semblance. Or it was revealed in Volume 4, certain people's semblances. And we got to know it. And Jean, we don't know. I think he's been hyped up, and I believe when his semblance comes into the picture, it's going to be immensely powerful. I truly do. You don't just hype a character up that long without knowing his semblance and him developing as a character without having a kick-ass semblance, you know? That's why I'm looking forward to Jean most of all in future volumes, but especially in Volume 5. So yeah, that's my reasoning for why I'm hyped for Jean. His semblance has been hyped up. He's been hyped up. He's developed so much as a character. And I do think it's unfair to compare him and Weiss together like I did earlier in the video. However, she's also the character who had the most development. And Jean is honestly, to me, the second best development. However, you know, he's just very hyped up character. And I want to see that hypeness pay off and him kick some serious ass. So that's why I'm excited to see Jean in Volume 5 and in future volumes. I believe he's going to continue to get better, continue to mature, and I want to see his semblance be so kick-ass. Or even if it's something not kick-ass, I want it to be something extremely useful. He's been hyped up for so long. I just want to see him finally take on like his truest potential, you know? And that's why I'm looking forward for Jean for Volume 5 and future volumes. If you have a particular character you're looking forward to in Volume 5 and future chapters, comment in the description below what they may be. Mine personally is Raven. I want to know more about her. And I want to know more about her character just in general. I want to know her semblance. I want to know what happened to her. However, that's not everyone's opinion. and what everybody wants to see. Comment in the description what you want to see, whose character you're most hyped for, and can't wait to see in Volume 5 and future chapters. And as always, rate this video 1 through 10, as well as comment, like, and subscribe, as well as share this video with your friends, your fellow RWBY fans. And yeah, this is Nick Baldwin out with the Yay.